Yo, what's going on? It's Joe back here again with another vid here on Joe Talks. And I hope the video looks all right. I'm recording this right after the game. And it's a little dark. It ain't crazy dark, but I look really dark on the phone. Hopefully the lighting's good. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna talk about the Texas game. Arch Manning. Um, this ain't looking good. I'm gonna be honest. This is not looking good. For those who don't know, they just played, what is it, University of Texas, El Paso, I think, today. And yes, they did win by a score of 27-10. But let me just tell you this: that score doesn't mean anything. Arch literally came out of the gate today, just bad, man, just playing bad. I'm being honest. Um, Literally, and it seems like the coach is I don't know, like realizing, because they literally came out running the ball today. They came out running the ball. They actually had some QB draws, which like I said in the previous Arch Manning vid. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you go check that out. It'll be linked on screen at the end of the video. But like I said in that last video, as of right now, with him not being accurate and not being able to read coverages that good, it wouldn't be a bad idea to focus on running right now, until you at least, are able to read coverages and are more accurate. Because right now, man, it looks bad, man. Uh, yeah, I'm just gonna call him El Paso. So say El Paso had a little bit better offense, because there were times they were getting the offense going. Then they'll get flags, stupid penalties. Then they'll get stalled or whatever. But yeah, say El Paso had a little bit, well, actually a lot better offense. They probably would have ended up winning this game. Because I'll say this: their defense wasn't bad. Their defense wasn't crazy bad for the school. Because honestly, I ain't never heard of this school, to be honest. So they stuck up good against Texas. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, there were guys wide open again. Arch was just missing or not seeing. There was literally a time before halftime. It was like right before halftime. He literally went on a 0 for 10 streak with one interception. It got so bad that, and then I also said in the previous vids, say Arch continues to play bad, Texas don't play when it comes to football, man. The Texas fans would literally run him out of the school. I'm being honest. Literally towards the end of the second quarter, when he was on that 0 for 10 streak, they literally started booing him, and it was bad, man. I was like, ain't no way. And then all his teammates are running to him. Hey, man, it's all right. Slapping him on the head. Hey, man, it's okay. It's okay. Nah, man, just fucking pass better, man. Like, bro, I don't get how he's not accurate, man. I don't know if it's nerves or if he's really just not good. And if he's not good, that's crazy. Because I remember him coming in for Ewers sometimes last year. And then, yes, he didn't really do no crazy plays. But, I mean, the times he did come in, he wasn't bad. So it's really weird to see now him starting and he just can't get anything going, especially against these small schools, man. What's going to happen when you go up against some big SEC teams or some big Big Ten teams or some big Pac-12 teams or whatever it's called now? What are you going to do against them, Like, man, El Paso, like I said, El Paso could have literally won this game, which is crazy to say, but they could have, man. Say they could have just, started scoring, earlier. They might have had a chance. It's crazy to say that, but they did. They could have won, and it seems like whenever Arch Manning gets put. So let me backtrack. So like I said, they came out running the ball. Which they were running it. They were able to run the ball pretty easily at the start of the game. But there were a couple instances where they got stopped third and long, or so that's another thing. You can tell the coach had no respect for El Paso. They pretty much went for it on every fourth down this game, showing no respect to El Paso. And say it was a close fourth down, say it was like a 4th and 2, anything like between 4th and 5 range, they got it because they were able to run it. But say it was 3rd and long or 4th and long or even 4th and goal, and it was up to Arch to to having to pass the ball in order to, get the first down or get the touchdown. He couldn't do it, man. Say you get put in a third and long situation, and you have no quarterback to rely on, the drive's pretty much over at that point. So whenever Texas got into third and long issues, they most of the times couldn't convert because Arch Manning just couldn't pass the ball. And I'm gonna say this: I forgot the dude's name. I think it's the number one dude, the wide receiver guy, Waymo, or something like that. The number one guy. I'm gonna say this, man. It seems like he's the number one wide receiver, also number one. So because it seems like most of the passes went to him. Just most of the passes that were to him were either high, behind him, in the ground. I'm going to say this, man. Say I was him, man, Because, at the end of the day, man, say you don't. So as a wide receiver, at the end of the day, a wide receiver can only be so good until he has to rely on his quarterback. So in other words, a receiver can only be so good if a quarterback, lets them be good. It's kind of hard to explain. That's how I see it. Because one, so you have a quarterback that's not seeing you, that can't throw the ball good, then it's going to be bad. You're not going to get passes. You're not going to get catches, and then in his instance, with Arch Manning throwing the ball high, behind him, low, that's going to end up hurting his numbers. So, hey, say I were him, I'd be talking to the coach. Hey, man, like I said, I don't know who Texas has as a backup, but honestly, anything at this point would be better in my opinion. Let me know, if you Texas fans, who's the backup is, because I have no idea, but I feel like anything would be better at this point. It's crazy to me, but say I was that dude, I'd be like, yo, coach, man, hey, you're gonna have to do something, or I'm jumping in the portal, man. Hey, Arch is hurting my numbers, man. He's hurting my stats. Because like I said, say you got a quarterback that's not throwing the ball good or not throwing the ball to you, it's not going to be good. That's just how it is. But yeah, Arch, I don't know what's going on. Texas literally has it so easy right now, not having to play an actual like a decent SEC team, right away. I think they got 3 more weeks of, small schools. Then their first like big game is Florida. So, it just depends on what happens, man. It's going to be interesting. But so far, this has to be the worst game I've seen Arch play. Even the Ohio State game, he didn't really like. He played bad, obviously, but that was against Ohio State, and he did have some good moments, during Ohio State, So, but this game, I don't know, man. And then there was one play. It was 4th and goal. So we literally ran all the way. So the play, it seemed like, so the whole line shifted. It seemed like that was the play, like some kind of stretch play or whatever they call it in college, where the whole O-line moves to the left along with the quarterback. So the play was, so he literally went all the way left. So they showed the replay. There was dudes wide open in the end zone. He obviously didn't see him or didn't think he could make the throw, whatever. He ends up running all the way back to the right, throws it across his body to the left, like sails it, like it's not a zip, it's a sail pass. And I knew from the moment it left his hands, oh, this is going to be an interception. And it got interception, man, and it got intercepted. I don't know, man. I'm not sure what Texas needs to do, but I already know the fans are getting sick of it. Shit, I would be getting sick of it, say I was a Texas fan, Hey, so Michigan kind of went through, I'm a Michigan fan, by the way, for those of y'all who don't know. But Michigan went through this same issue last year, We had no quarterback, but we had a good defense, Say our quarterback and the run game could do just a little bit. And what I mean by a little bit is, say the quarterback could do like the short passes here and there, and the running game can get going, and the defense can keep the score low, then Michigan would have a chance of winning. That's how Michigan was able to, finish the season off last year somehow kind of positive, because their defense was able to hold teams to a low score, and the offense was able to do the bare minimum to, get the job done. So, it seems like Texas is kind of going through that same thing, where they have a good team around, they have a decent team, like defense and offense wise. It's just they're missing the most important, part of the team, and that's the quarterback. You know, say you don't have a quarterback, man, you're not going to win a lot of games. That's just how it is. Either speak in college or pros. You know, so the hell, my cat doing some weird shit. But yeah. So that's just my take on the game. That's pretty much all, you know, that I have to say, and all to my memory that I remember. Because honestly, you know, once the third quarter came, I cut the game off, so I'm not sure what happened after that. It seems like El Paso obviously scored a touchdown. It seemed like they scored that in the fourth quarter. But yeah, man, you know, what do y'all think? You know, so like teams like this that Texas play, you know, the score should be like how, you know, how the Michigan game score was today against Central, you know, 63-3. That's how the score should be when Texas plays schools like this. Like the score of this game should have been like 70 something to like 3 or 70 something to 10 or whatever, you know. But instead, you know, 27, you know, kind of hard points, you know, like it took Texas a minute to get them points. Like I said, it was 7-3 the majority of the game. It took Texas a minute to get going. It seemed like second half, El Paso was tired or whatever. The second half, you know, they started giving up more points and all that. So, I don't know. It seems like El Paso came out in the second half and just, you know, couldn't execute. That's when Texas started to pull away. But yeah, it was, wait, no, it was actually 14-3, was it? Yeah, I think it was 14-3 actually going into halftime. That's my bad. But still, man, it took a minute for them to score. But I will give Arch this, you know, remembering that it was 14-3 before halftime. So Arch did make a good decision. I think there was like 6 seconds left, and they got the ball back, and they were driving down the field. So this is the first time I ever seen a 2-minute run only or run primary drill. This is the first time I've seen a two minute drill, primarily runs. So they got the ball, so they punted it, you know, and then like I said, El Paso, you know, doing dumb penalties, got a stupid penalty, pushed Texas up over midfield. So literally all they had to do, so they got some good runs. Arch threw the ball like once or twice. And then the final play, there were 6 seconds left. He made the smart decision, one, not to hold on to the ball too long, and two, to make up his mind quick. And they ended up having an opening. He ended up just running it in for the touchdown. So yeah, it seems like Arch is primarily a run heavy quarterback. It seems like he can't really, pass, and I'm not sure what the issue is. Like, I want to know what's Texas doing in practice, or does he play good in practice, and then when the lights are on him and all that, when it's time to play in the actual game, he gets nervous. I'm not sure what it is, but hey, all I know is Texas, y'all need to figure it out before it gets really bad, and before the fans start getting really upset. Because like I said today, I'm not sure if they booed him before. I didn't hear it in the past games, but they started booing the yeah out of him, man. They started booing him bad at the end of the second quarter. So I'm not sure. All I know is Texas needs to make some kind of changes because, like I said, Texas fans don't play when it comes to football. So it's only a matter of time before a lot of people start getting frustrated in Texas, man. So, what y'all think, especially y'all Texas fans, what y'all think about this? Because from an outsider looking in, from someone who's not a Texas fan, it's not looking good. Like I said, it looks like what Michigan went through last year, with not having a quarterback. So I'm curious to see what y'all think, and like I said at the start of the video, like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'd appreciate it. Check out my other Arch Manning vids. If you haven't, they should be popped up on screen. And yeah, peace.